Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Tuesday at, well, almost 12:30. We're going live today with Devii from Let's Talk Cartoons. If you guys don't know who Devii is, Let's Talk Cartoons is an amazing Instagram channel. They cover all kinds of cartoons. And he does real talk with, he does lives as well and has real talk with a lot of people that work in animation. So live. And now this time we're gonna like interview each other instead of me just interviewing him. We're gonna interview each other and see what happens. Hey Devii, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? I hope my fan isn't
No, you
bothering
sound
the audio.
perfect. It's so good to
Beautiful,
see
beautiful.
you.
It's good to
It's
see you.
it's so funny. My cat just like appeared out of nowhere. I wonder if Bully, you want to come sit? No, he's ignoring me. Happy
As
Tuesday.
cats
How
do.
are you?
I'm doing good. I had lunch about 15 minutes ago. It was pretty good. How about you?
I have not had lunch yet. Yeah, I'm doing like a
Uh,
little cleanse. So it's a
oh,
lot of green foods. A lot of I had my celery juice this morning,
mm-hmm. Is it a
and
juice cleanse?
no, it's not a juice cleanse. It's like green shakes and fruits and vegetables, but just like, you know, just lots of nutrients and healthy stuff. Because,
Okay.
we're just here to talk health and lifestyle, right, Devii?
Right, right. Totally health and lifestyle gurus now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so we're talking about meditation. No, let's talk cartoons. It's
Yes.
funny, you pointed out to me that it is Let's Talk Cartoons with an L, not It's Talk Cartoons, which I was mistakenly thought at first. And you have a YouTube
Yeah.
channel as well, right?
I do. That's where I got the name from. Funny little story. I started YouTube first, and then it's like when I went to make the Instagram name, Instagram wouldn't allow me to add all the letters to spell out Let's Talk Cartoons. So I was like, it should be harmless to just drop the E out of the T. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I thought at the moment. But then a lot of people were calling it It's Talk Cartoons. So a lot of the times I have to just correct people. I'm like, no, it's Let's Talk Cartoons. I just gonna add the E.
I think if you
But
put a
yeah,
space in there, it could work like It's Talk Cartoons.
but I can't add another letter. I would have to drop something to replace it with something else.
Yeah,
Because
no,
it's like so I was like, I'll just explain it. It's fine.
it's Talk Cartoons. Yeah. Thanks for everybody that's joining live. I wonder if it's so I introduced Devi a little bit. Do you want to? I can say what I do. I'm a
Oh
voice
yeah, definitely.
actor for different animated shows like the new Tom and Jerry show and Yokai Watch on Disney XD. A couple projects for Nick I can't talk about yet. I was working on the Mr. Men show, which was a fun one. Olivia, which
Yes.
was on Nick Jr. Just been doing voiceover for animation and video games for a little over a decade. Does that age me?
Well seasoned. Well seasoned. No, it's good. It's good. I am very interested in how the voice acting world is working during the pandemic because I know it's such animation overall is such a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued. Like, how are you managing everything? Like directing yourself, I guess. Do you have to do the directing when you're
Well, I mean,
auditioning, or?
for auditions, yes. Mostly,
Oh,
what will happen is we'll get a piece of copy in, and
mhm,
sometimes it has a picture of the image of what the character looks like, and sometimes it doesn't. So if
mm,
it does, then if the character has any visual quirks or cues, you can get a sense of what they might sound like. If there's not,
right.
then there's usually a detailed description of what the character's personality is like, what motivates
Hmm.
them, what their personality is like, and so you can kind of use that um, to base what your
Create the
character is
characters.
on.
Right.
And a vocal diversity is great, being able to change your voice and sound like a different person. But really, it comes down to the character, and
Right.
so it's like
you can't just do a crazy voice and not sound like you are acting.
Right,
So,
unless you're voicing a robot.
unless you're doing AI, which
Right.
actually that's definitely a pretty popular archetype for mainly women, I think, but occasionally male MIs. AI. Hi, my cat is just like, oh, coming to say hi.
Hello, Kat. What's your name?
His name's Foley, and he just had some teeth pulled
Lonely.
last week, and he's like now feeling
Oh,
amazing. So,
oh,
um,
okay.
yeah, but you know, so you just do the best you can and hope that you get a call back and might be able to talk directly with the director or the
Mhm.
producers and who are going to have a much clearer sense of what the character might sound like. But cat, cat, cat. Yes, such a sweet kitty. Thank you guys for joining in live. So yeah, he thinks he thinks that voice acting is just silly voices. But I mean, obviously vocal diversity is a part of it, and some of our favorite actors, voice actors,
Right.
voice some of the most intense
I come.
and out there characters. But it's just it comes down to the acting and being able to have the performance with that. So you're interested in voice acting, huh, Debbie?
I am. I am. I look at people like Gray Delisle, who has the incredible voice diversity, vocal diversity. But
Hmm.
then there is also, people like Kristen Shaw. Her
Yes.
voice is pretty iconic.
Yes.
And it's like it's just always steady, but she plays the roles so well. Louise Belcher is one of my favorite, and Mabel from Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
And it's like even though they sound so similar, she does the role so well and develop the characters so well that it's just like you can tell they're two different people. So yeah, I've been interested. I'm all the way in Jamaica, and it's hard to find because not only am I in Jamaica, but I'm in the countryside of Jamaica. I'm in a fishing town, so you're definitely not gonna find any vocal teachers or voice acting coaches here. So most of what I was doing is just going around YouTube and seeing like other voice actors talk about their experience and what they do to develop their craft and just trying to learn from that.
Yeah.
And then
And
because of,
mhm.
oh, I was gonna say because I work at a hotel, I work as a telephone operator.
Oh,
So it's like shout out to my supervisors for not
meanwhile,
what
you're
would you
like in
say?
the back, like trying to hide you by. That's supposed to
Right.
be in the
So, so it's like when along with that, they allow me to get crazy on the calls as long as I still be respective of the hotel and so forth. So it's
Yeah.
like sometimes I'm on the call and it's a whole other character. So
Oh, really?
one moment I'm answering the calls, I'm like, hi, thank you for calling. And then maybe another time after break, I come in and well energized. I feel differently. So I'm like, hi, thank you for calling. How are you doing? Whole accent, everything. But yeah, they
Yeah.
say as long as I don't change my name, I'm good. I can go as crazy as I want.
People are going to be like, no, I talked to a different Debbie yesterday. This is really strange.
It's helpful when I wonder if I should say this, but it's helpful when things are busy and the whole place is a mess and the guests aren't really getting everything that they want. So it's like they call you and they were like, "Oh, I talked with this person yesterday. They tell me they were going to send me a blanket and it never came." I'm like, I wonder who that could be. Sorry. So,
On
but
no,
yeah,
Debbie,
it's
talk
fun.
about me. I'll put an eye out, see if I can find him.
Right. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
So it's a funny story how you and I met. We met on
Yes, you want to tell?
Instagram. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of the new Carmen Sandiego reboot for Netflix, and
Yes, indeed.
I was following Dwayne Capizzi, who is the showrunner and writer, producer on the show, and
Hmm.
uh, and then I had asked if he wanted to be on my show because I host a weekly podcast called Alicyn's Wonderland, and it is
Yes.
an interview show where we speak with people that do work in animation and video games, but not just voice actors, although it is because I'm a voice actor, it's heavy on the voice actors. Um,
Right.
but we do showrunners and storyboard artists and everybody in all different facets, so you can learn about all different avenues of animation careers. So I was
Right.
following him, and I saw he went live with you, and that's when I started following Let's Talk Cartoons. And I've been so impressed with just the amount of content that you have coming out, and the level of research, and I just subscribed to your YouTube channel as well. But it's been great to kind of see, just have one centralized location to go for animation news. And Let's
Right.
Talk Cartoons does a great job at doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been wanting to come to Instagram for a while because I started on YouTube and then I made a Twitter account after YouTube, and then it's been like that for a long while. But it wasn't until a year ago when I was like, I knew I always wanted to come to Instagram, but I was like, how am I going to come here? I'm not really the type to just post pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I going to do on Instagram? And then I was playing with the idea for news for a long time until one day I just finally made the Instagram, came up with the design. I showed a couple friends. I was like, what do you think about this? I think I made about 5 different templates, and then they finally picked the one that I'm using now. And then,
You
yeah, I
you
just
had
started today.
you had your followers help choose the template?
I did on Twitter, though, because I wasn't using Instagram yet. So on Twitter, I had them help me
Got it.
narrow it down. But then I had my friends, basically, they're the ones who had the final say, and they helped me choose the one that I
Mm.
have now. And it's been good. It's been wonderful. I started with Infinity Train. You know Infinity Train, right?
Yeah. I got
That's
first
the
sneak
first
peek,
one.
I think, was at Comic-Con. I think was the first time I saw that a couple years ago.
We've been waiting for that one for a long time. But yeah, it's the first one I started with, and it's been fun ever since.
And what sources do you use to get your news?
I use so much because the thing is, no one directly comes to me with information unless
Yet.
there's a few. There are a few. Since I started going, I've had a few creators reach out, actually. So let me take that back. But it's not as like I still have to go out there and search for the information. So I'll be on Twitter a lot, scrolling through. Luckily, with as my following continued to grow, people who are also interested in cartoon news, like some of my followers, they started sending me information. So they'll like find something interesting and they'll send it to me. But for the most part, I just use Twitter. I follow like Deadline, Variety, Animation Magazine, and that's how I mostly get the information.
Wow. The Synopsis, which is a daily update on entertainment news, used to have an animation edition that would come daily, and it was so great and so helpful to know what's going on at each network. But
Mm.
since they stopped that many years ago, I feel like there hasn't been a good source just focused on animation. So I feel like your channel kind of has been like a nice way to get the basics, and then you can delve deeper on whatever topic you're discussing.
Yes, indeed. It's fun. And I also got inspiration from I'm not sure if you know this page, but it's Katsuka. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but Katsuka, he's been doing it for years. He has a Twitter, Instagram, and he also has a website. So he posts about a lot of animation news, and but a lot of his stuff are because he's from France. So a lot of his stuff are anime because he loves anime a lot. He doesn't
Uh-huh.
really delve a lot into the cartoon aspect of things, but he does do it. But he was a big inspiration because he's the only one who runs that. And it's crazy if you actually look at the website and his account and everything. It's crazy how much he does. So I was like, he can do it. Maybe I can do it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're doing it. And how long have you been on Instagram for?
Instagram has been a year going on to 2 years in August.
Wow, you've accrued
And it
quite
was,
the, yeah, sorry.
oh, you were saying, you can go
Oh, you've
ahead.
accrued You've accrued quite the following in that short
I
period
think
of time.
I think what happened is because when I was starting off, I started before the quarantine, but it was like once the page was more established, I think I was probably about 1,000 or 3,000 followers. But once the quarantine really started, that's when I saw like a lot of followers coming in. I was like, what? I guess they're, home, so everybody wants to see what's going on, so everybody's on social media.
Yeah,
So it makes sense.
yeah,
It really
definitely.
gave a boost. I wanted to ask, because I saw someone say something about anime. Who doesn't love anime?
Oh, hey
So
Jay, good
wrapping
to
it,
see you.
wrapping it back into voice acting, uh, I know you do a lot of cartoons, but you also did Yokai Watch. Did you do any other animes?
You know, gosh, I'm trying to think of what else was directly anime. I had done some games with Cup of Tea, um, but I think that was pretty much the main anime that I did. In terms of dubbing, I mean, I've
Uh,
dubbed for live action as well. It's a whole different ball game, um, and it has
what's
its own
the
unique challenges. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna ask, what's the difference with like cartoon versus anime? I think anime they have a lot of the I'm not sure what they would call those sounds, but it's not really words, but just expressions, I guess.
Well, the
Over
thing
more
with anime
than
is it usually comes from Japan, and then
right.
it's this particular style of animation, and then when it comes to the States,
Hmm.
I'm curious, in Jamaica, do you listen to English television or?
Oh, yeah, we do. Basically, we have all the United States channels
Okay,
and so forth.
okay, so yeah, then they will take the cartoon and they will have the voice actors dub, which means you are replacing the dialogue with new dialogue. So
Right.
it's like, I mean,
So
whatever the
basically, they have to translate it to English, and then you guys
yeah,
read it over.
yeah. Unfortunately, that is not my job, but I feel like that must be very tedious because they want to get up the same amount of lip flaps as
Right.
as there are for that. So if the character is saying blah blah blah, then you want to replace it with what's that, ma? Something that
Right.
like an A looks different than O or E. So they want
Yeah,
to try and match it like that. So that's a whole different challenge, I think.
definitely. Because you're not just translating, you're having to do all of that. So
And
I
you
can
have
only
timing,
imagine.
so they'll be like, okay, it'll be like beep. They replace the dialogue and there you'll hear a series of beeps. So it's beep, 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 and then you talk on the third beep after the third.
Oh,
So you have to get it within the time, match it to the lip flap, and act. So there's a lot
we.
going on. It's not like you can just really, with other projects, maybe focus on your method and all that. It comes down to being even more technical. So it has
Yeah,
challenges.
I've heard about the dubbing thing, but I never heard the beeping one part before. So that's new.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun,
So
but
it's definitely harder though than cartoons.
I mean, it moves at a quicker pace. I wouldn't say it's harder. Yeah, I guess it probably is a little harder. To get the good performance, you have to really focus. There's like a lot going on.
Yeah. Would you do more anime today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, anime is sometimes covered under a different dubbing contract for
Oh,
so the it's not always the same pay structure. So I think that creating original characters, especially
hmm,
original comedic characters, is sort of my number one goal. But I would love to do anime. The fans in anime are awesome, and we have
yeah.
coming up on our show, we have Griffith Burns and Kellen Goff coming up this month and next month. So I'm excited because those are two
Okay.
very popular anime actors. And so I'm excited to
I,
learn more about the world. And
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I will definitely have to watch those. I'm trying to think. Kellen, I've heard the name before. Is he in My Hero Academia, I believe?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to
He's
check
a young
that
guy. I
one
mean,
out when it's dropped.
he's very young. I think I first met Kellen when he was 17, and a friend of a friend had me listen to his demo, and even then, he was just fantastic.
Killing it.
So, yeah, so it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that one. It's kind of all come full circle, you know.
Yeah, I'll
But maybe
definitely
you'll
have to.
move to LA someday. Oh, I
Oh
think we
no.
got a little bit of a lag. You still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm still here. I just didn't hear what you just said.
Do you think you'll move to Los Angeles someday?
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, I
Are you
think
hearing
so.
me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. I was wondering if you were planning to move to Los Angeles anytime.
I've definitely thought about it, and people that I've spoken to in the industry have definitely recommended it. For me, what I'm nervous about is the migration, because moving from Jamaica to Los Angeles is not as easy. I've never really looked into it before, like in depth, but from what I've heard, it's a very tedious process. I'm nervous about what it will entail, but if, for the most part, yes, I would love to, because that's where a lot of the animation stuff goes down, and I would love to learn more. I feel like I could learn more being in the center of everything. But having the page has definitely helped a lot because, the pandemic. So a lot of people are home right now. So it's like it's been easier to reach out to people and ask questions. Not everyone always answers, which is respectful. I understand we're busy. But for the people who will answer the DMs, they're always willing to, shed some light on what's going on, give some few tips here and there, and definitely appreciate it.
And how
But
much
yeah,
time?
I would love to.
Yeah, I mean, I, there's so many ways to get in. And are you interested in any other aspects of animation production?
I recently got like or love. Well, when going to high school, I loved writing, but it's like when I watched, for instance, Carmen San Diego, it's like, wow, writing can be pretty dope. And Steven Universe is another one that made me love
Yeah.
writing as well. So I definitely, along with voice acting, I plan to dive more into voice acting and then slowly kind of work into writing. I'm trying to watch. I haven't paid for a course yet, but I plan to. But for now, I'm just watching as much free content as I can on how writing works. I knew you did some writing as well.
I
Was it
did, yeah.
Barbie?
Yeah, my writing partner Dana Middleton and I wrote 8 episodes of Barbie Dreamtopia, which is currently airing on
Yes,
YouTube Kids. It's a preschool
I
show
love
based around the Barbie franchise,
that.
but it really focuses on her kid sister Chelsea, who is 6 years old at the time. And if you
Mhm.
know any kids that age, you know it's just all about imagination and creating these dream worlds. So the story is we go inside Chelsea's dream world and explore. There's 4 different realms. There's a hair realm where everything is wispy forest and it's all about hair. And there's like a land that's all candy. There's Sparkle Mountain.
Mhm.
And so we go into her different realms and she has these adventures with these just amazing wild characters. So that was so fun because I am just still in many ways like an adult kid. I get down on the ground with
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old son and we get down on the ground and we build forts and we play and like he's watching like My Little Pony now, so then we'll be like, let's play My Little Pony. And he's an only child, so I'm like, at times,
Uh,
it's especially with the pandemic and you know, us being home so much and him not being able to have play dates for a long time,
Hmm.
we really, you know, we play all kinds of stuff. So, so getting to write for that show was such a dream. And I also wrote for a show called Poppycat, which I also did voices for. I played Alma. She's a little bunny. Oh, Poppycat, I just love my blue pearls. And he's so cute. And that was on Nick Jr. And I got to write an episode of that as well. Yeah, I mean,
Do
I've
they?
written. Hmm?
Oh, so sorry to cut you off, but I was wondering, like in Dreamtopia, right? Do they give you the freedom to actually create some of those worlds, like as you're writing?
The story editor, Kate Boudelier, they fleshed out the story with Mattel, and so the worlds were already created and a lot of the characters. We did create a couple characters, and that was always fun. But you know, kind of mainly coming up with, because it's preschool, there's an educational component. It was more
Right.
socio-emotional learning. Um, so one about finding your voice, which was an
Mhm.
episode where Chelsea goes into the dream world, and Nato, who's kind of the anti, like her yeah,
Her file, so to speak,
enemy, you know,
like the opposite of her.
it's, yeah, her neighbor. He's kind of the antagonist, I guess. And
Okay.
so he is kind of making fun of her. She's like, why are you singing so loudly? And Chelsea just wants to express herself creatively. And I feel like this comes up with a lot of kids, that you are just so free and creating with so much heart and passion. And then like around six,
Mhm.
seven, someone will say something and then you start judging what your art
Right.
is. And whenever you start having that external approach, you know, it
Hmm.
can really get in your head and stand in the way of just being able to freely create. Like they say, create and then edit after. And there's a reason
Right.
for that, because you cut off the flow to your passion and your creativity. So that was something I wanted to explore in that episode. And so we wrote an episode where Chelsea's nervous to perform in front of these cloud people who are like the cloud greats.
Hmm.
And so she ends up like finding her voice and finding her courage in that. So it was really such a sweet show. Um, and yeah, you should check it out on YouTube Kids, Dreamtopia. I'm trying to remember
I
the
will. I've seen.
what's the name of this episode. Um, there's a song in it called Sing, 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 Sing Along My Sing Along Song. Sing, sing, sing my sing along song. I wonder
Why
if it's
does
called
that
Sing
sound
Along
so
Song. I
familiar?
forget the name of the
I
episode.
wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if I've watched that episode before because I do have a niece who loves these stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day I actually saw it, but I just can't remember. That song does sound familiar though.
You're like having flashbacks. Oh, somebody's asking about Kid Cosmic. Have you been watching Kid Cosmic?
Oh my gosh, I love Kid
It's
Cosmic.
fun.
Yes. I How did I find out about the show? I think
Netflix like
Craig
told me
McCracken.
about the show. Netflix was like, you got to watch this.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they
I
like
saw.
pushed it right to the front.
How did they let me think. Oh yes, Netflix released a video where it was a lot of animation majors like Glenn Keane, I think Alex Hirsch was in that video as well, and so was Craig McCracken. So they acquired a lot of animation people to create some stuff for them. So they made like a video of these talented people talking about what it's like working for Netflix and what they plan to do. So in that video, Craig McCracken spoke about his new creation, Kid Cosmic, and then I kind of lost track of it
His
since it
new
came out a while
old
back.
creation, right?
Right. So then somebody randomly on Twitter was like, "Where is Kid Cosmic? Like, what's going on?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever happened to that?" And I believe it was I don't want to get the name wrong. Rob Paulson,
Rob Paulson.
who also
He's
worked
coming
on
on the
that
show in
show.
2 weeks, actually. He's going to be on for St. Patrick's Day
Rob,
on Allison's
really?
Wonderland. Yeah. Was it Rob?
Interesting. Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. If he's the voice actor, then I'm getting it wrong, I think.
He's in
Anyways,
Animaniacs. Okay, yeah.
ah, I messed them up. I messed them up. It was Renzetti. Rob
Okay.
Renzetti is the person I was thinking about.
Oh,
But
yes.
Love Paulson as well. Love Paulson. But basically, yeah,
Oh,
he
Kazi, you should
answered to
check
the
it out
tweet.
then for sure. He loves
But
that.
yeah, he answered to the tweet and he was like, it's still coming. And then a few months later, they started promoting the show. So yeah, I do enjoy Kid Cosmic a lot. Did you watch it like the entire thing?
I haven't finished it now.
I didn't finish up on the first go either, so that's why I said, let me ask first.
No.
What episode are you on?
Gosh, probably 6 or 7.
Okay, you're almost there. I forgot how many episodes are in there. Probably like 10. But good news, they're actually working on a second season, so that's good.
That's good. My kid will be really excited too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's brilliant. Kid definitely has a learning experience, and judging from his character, I think in episode 6, you can see that there's definitely something for him to learn, especially we're playing on a team is concerned. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be fun. It's gonna be fun. You'll enjoy the journey.
Thank you. Yeah.
How about Infinity Train?
I've just seen the pilot.
Just the pilot? Okay. That's good. That's good as well. It's 3 seasons now on HBO Max. It's brilliant. A little dark. Some concerns have been put out about having younger kids watch it right off the bat. But you could check it out and see if it's something that,
Yeah,
your son would enjoy.
we have HBO Max. I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
What are
it's
you watching on
funny.
HBO?
When I was growing up, we had Saturday morning cartoons, we had the Disney afternoon. We didn't have 24-hour streaming and
Right.
so much content. It's
So much.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, just even my son, he's growing up and we used to really limit his TV pre-pandemic, and now, he watches a couple shows a day and more on the weekends.
Mhm.
But he is like an equal opportunity player. Like he wants to watch all different stuff. Really, Infinity
Really?
Train gets dark. Dark can scare me sometimes, like, especially when he's, when I watch most stuff with my son, which is great to be able to get the adult perspective and the actual kid reaction to and see what he reacts to.
Mhm.
It's all physical humor at this point, or just even the rhythm of comedy. He'll like laugh, and I know he doesn't get the joke, but he still laughs.
Right. Has he watched Animaniacs, the new one on Hulu?
Yes, he loves that. I mean, that's so
I
great.
can imagine.
Speaking of Rob Paulson, yeah. Yeah, that one's really,
I
really
haven't gotten
fun. Now
around.
they're going, season 3 is coming up.
Yeah, I saw that news release. Uh, That's pretty interesting. That's pretty good, I meant to say. I haven't got to Animaniacs yet. I have like a list of stuff that I'm trying to watch through. Right now, I'm watching The Amazing World of Gumball because it ended on Cartoon Network a while back.
Someone was just
So
asking about the movie. Is there a movie coming
oh
up?
yeah, yes, there is a movie coming out. So fans have been asking for this movie ever since before the finale, and the finale aired at least 2 years ago. So it was like fans have been asking for a long time.
Yeah.
Nothing. Cartoon Network said nothing. But Reese and Ben Buckley, he's the artist. Ben Buckley. I'm not good with names, but Ben, he's the creator. He's expressed that he would love to create a movie. So it was very recently, about a month ago, when Cartoon Network revealed that they are indeed creating a movie. So that's what made me like, I should finally check the show out.
Crassie must be stoked. Everybody's saying they love that show.
Yes, and
Oh my God, I just keep reading about season 3 of Infinity Train. I'm kidding. I'm getting sad just reading the comments about it.
yeah, that was definitely the darkest of them all. it started off on a lighter note. So they tackled a lot of stuff that I wasn't expecting, because the pilot that came out on Cartoon Network a couple years ago is not, how would you say it? They didn't hint at any of the topics that they would touch on, any of the darker topics that they would touch on in that pilot. So
Hmm.
it was definitely an interesting switch, but it's fantastically written, touching on topics like identity, divorce, dealing with mental health and not just ignoring it, even if it's hard. So, there are times when it got very emotional,
Yeah.
but it's good. Good
Aw.
stuff.
I wish I could reach through and give you a big giant hug right now. Ah. Did you feel it?
I felt it. Thank you.
Good. Good. Yeah, I mean, it's great too. I mean, a lot of your channel, being able to see your face is really nice, because a lot of your channel is on Instagram is cartoon news and such. And one of the things that really impresses me with Let's Talk Cartoons is your ability to build community. And that is something I'm also trying to do with my podcast.
Yeah.
Although it's like, because my podcast is on my channel, it's not, my whole channel is not just about the podcast. Is just like my life, and like, here's a picture of my kid and here's my face.
Right.
Not too much of my face, but probably should be more facing face. People like faces. The algorithm likes faces.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, like, your ability to build community has been so great. We have a lot of people that are actively communicating with each other about the shows that you're talking about. How do you
Yes.
how did that come about? Was it organic? Was it something you intended?
I definitely intended, because one of the stuff I love is learning about algorithms and so forth. I've always been interested in marketing, even though I never did a course, but it's something that I've always been interested in. So before I created the page, I took some time to look up videos on YouTube, like Instagram algorithm, how it works and so forth. And coming from YouTube, I already had an idea of how to build a
Yeah.
community. So I I definitely took steps to create and figure out. I'm sorry, I saw this.
I
This
know. Well,
Let's
I
Talk
actually have,
Cartoons.
like, something is being delivered to my house right now. Like, a delivery guy just pulled up. And so if you saw my eyes, like, I wasn't like just tuning out. I was like, okay, Chewy's here with some cat food. Okay.
What was I? Oh yes, the community.
Thanks, bud.
Yes, I I definitely took some steps. For instance, I made sure, starting out, I niche. No, actually, starting out, I was all over the place with the cartoons that I spoke about. But I had the idea that if I wanted to, like, engage with the fans of certain cartoons, I would definitely have to, niche down and um, only do a small few. So it's like, if it's to only have 3 cartoons that I talk about, and just talk about them in depth, so that the fans can also find my page and realize that it's a place where they can talk. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did. That's one of the ways. And then as I continue growing, I've added more cartoons to the list. So I don't cover every single cartoon, but I do cover like a specific few. And then, of course, if there's something that's huge cartoon news, I will definitely add that to the list. So that's one of the ways to get a specific community and get people interested. Another thing is I made sure, well, starting out, it was easier to reply to comments and have talks there. It's not so easy now, but that was definitely a good way to get the conversation started, replying to comments. And DMs as well. I don't always get to all the DMs anymore, but I do try to reach out to them. But yeah, for the most part, and I listen to what they like, what they're interested in. I don't watch every single show that I report on, but sometimes I'll get a comment. They're like, "Hey, Devii, you should check out this cartoon, this one," and I'm like, sounds interesting." And then I'll do some research and find out more and just post the news just because of people are asking. But
Yeah.
it's definitely fun building a community. How have you been doing it here on your page?
Well, we have a weekly live where I sit down with it's mainly people that I know, but I do try to reach out to at least at this, we're having our 24th episode tonight, sorry, tomorrow night, and Hope Levy is our guest. So it's been a pretty broad. It hasn't been a small sampling of cartoons. It's been pretty broad. So it could be
Right.
that, followers might say, hey, wait, Hope Levy's on Boss Baby, but I'm interested in Animaniacs and Rob's coming in 2 weeks. But hopefully, I
Right.
would think if someone's a fan of one animated TV show,
Definitely.
they might be at least curious about some of the others. Um,
Right.
so, and, mainly it's a Q&A interview where I plan most of the questions in advance. And then
Mhm.
we'll take a handful of questions from the audience. Now, tomorrow, we're doing something completely different. Hope Levy, who plays the mom on Boss Baby, she was also in As Told by Ginger. She does a ton of ADR. She's been in a bunch of different shows. She was in Hey Arnold. I don't know if you saw, we had Hey Arnold creator Craig Bartlett on the show a few weeks ago. So it's cool when there's crossover. But
Right.
she's a singer-songwriter, and I am a singer-songwriter as well. To be honest,
Mhm.
since the pandemic, I have not been picking up my instruments. I just have been like focused on work and family
Right.
and keeping it together.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
right.
So she wanted to do a show. So I'm like, yes, that sounds amazing. We're still figuring out our format. So tomorrow we are going to each do a handful of songs and I'll ask her some
Mhm.
questions kind of in between. So I'm excited about that, not only for the opportunity to share my music, but
Yeah.
just to try something different,
I
Hey
definitely
Arnold
want
and
to check it
Rugrats
out.
crossover, you have that on VHS? Oh my God, no way. Oh, I want to see that. I'm so
That was a
excited for the new
crossover.
Rugrats. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'll be watching that. I'll be watching that. I love the clip. Did you see the clip that they released?
Yeah,
They released the clip.
yeah.
That was
It,
cute.
it still has the same feel, but I mean, obviously,
Energy.
I don't think, the animation has changed so much. When you go back and watch
Yeah.
the show, especially the early ones, the pacing is just, it's different. That things are just much faster now. We're quick cuts and da, da, da. So to kind of see it have like a slight makeover is gratifying.
Yeah. It was because I haven't watched Rugrats in a while, but while watching that, it's like the characters, the energy was still there. I was like, what the heck? I remember in the caption, I was like, oh my God, I forgot how cute Tommy was. Like hearing his little voice. Was it Tommy or was it Chucky? I don't remember. But just hearing their
Both
little
are cute.
voices again, I was like, very
Tommy,
much
Yeah,
so.
and PG Daly does Tommy, and Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Chucky now. But um, yeah,
It's adorable.
yeah, it's been so fun. Maybe
I
Rugrats
want
and
to.
Wild Thornberries. Okay, yeah, the crossover, the VHS crossover. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
oh, I see. Wild Thornberries. I haven't heard about that one in a
it's been a
while.
while. I wonder if that'll get a little hey ho reboot.
A reboot. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot.
Cool. Well, I know you probably have some things. Are you working today or no?
Today, no. That's why I
I mean,
really
you're
wanted to
working
do
probably
this
on
today.
this, right?
Oh, oh, yes, yes, definitely.
Every day.
But do you have to go now?
I have a couple
Because I think I
auditions
have
that I need to get to, and one is due
one
at
more
2. So
follow.
I want to make sure that I'm able to get those in on time. But do you have any more questions for me before I go?
For you, I think for the most part we have them out, and if anything, we can just do another one.
I know. It's been so fun getting the chance to
Yeah,
chat with you. And thank you guys so much for everybody that tuned in live. I can go
yes,
ahead and
indeed.
post this IG video on my IGTV. And if anybody, if you came over from my side and you're not following Let's Talk Cartoons, make sure to check them out because they, Devii is just always putting out content. What do you do, like 3 posts a day or something?
I post basically on the daily, except Sundays because I had to create boundaries for myself because it takes a
Yeah.
lot of work. So every day
Yes.
except Sundays.
I definitely, yeah, it's finding a balance for sure. Yeah, so make sure you're following Devii with Let's Talk Cartoons and tune into our next IG Live tomorrow night. Oh, I'm sorry I have to go. And I'm
It's
listening
okay.
to
And of
Penny.
course, if anyone is coming from my page too, you guys have to check out Alicyn because she is pretty fabulous voice actress. I heard your work in the Tom and Jerry show, and that character is so sassy, and I love her. But yeah,
Oh,
fabulous work.
okay, yeah. You looking for a can of sardines?
Love her.
A lot of fun. Well, thank you, my dear. And yeah, we'll talk again soon. Have a great afternoon.
And same to you.
Bye.
Bye.